welcome to Capricorn season. Thanks for tuning in to the Embodied Astrology podcast. I'm Renee Sills. I'm a consulting astrologer, embodiment educator, and the creator of Embodied Astrology. If you enjoy my readings, make sure to order your 2025 Year Ahead Expanded Horoscope now. These 2-hour Embodied Astrology yearly forecasts for each sign go in depth with the most important transits, offering embodied suggestions for making the most of the opportunities and working skillfully with the challenges. You can order your 2025 reading by clicking the link below. If my work benefits you and you want to help me keep giving these monthly readings for free or help keep all of our offerings at EA financially accessible and sliding scale, please take a moment right now to like, follow, and subscribe to our channels. This is the #1 way you can help us grow. This season's horoscopes are intuitive offerings for each sign of the zodiac. I hope that they serve and support you in some way. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising signs. And remember that not everything is for everyone, so take what works, leave the rest, and make the meaning that's most meaningful for you. Thanks for being here. Onto your horoscope. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Capricorn season. As you might know, Capricorn is also an earth sign, so it is a complementary energy for you. Capricorn lives in a really special place in your chart. It's one of my favorite places in the chart. It is called your solar 5th house, and it is a place that resonates with some great keywords like play and your favorite hobbies and pastimes and creativity and erotic energy. This is a place of your self-actualization and personal expression. This is a place where we connect with your inner child, as well as childlike energy in general. And so if you are a person who works with kids, or if you have kids of your own, then this is also a place that highlights your relationships with those people, as well as those kinds of energies as they might manifest in people of all ages. So over the last 16 years, since 2008, the outer planet Pluto has been in Capricorn. And this period of time for Virgos has been a time that I think has been majorly challenging in some ways for many of you to connect with some of these kinds of themes. Your life energy, your vitality, your artistic creativity, your erotic energy, and generative capacities. And the challenge has not always necessarily been connecting at all, but connecting in ways that don't turn into a job. So Capricorn as an energy loves to make things into jobs. And part of what Pluto's tenure in this place has been about is reworking and transforming how we labor. And Virgos are Virgo identified people. So if you have your sun, rising, or moon in Virgo, consider yourself Virgo identified. Virgo identified people are often really hard workers. And part of why you work so hard is because of how deeply you care. And part of caring a lot is picking up the pieces that other people don't pick up, or taking care of things that for some reason just don't get taken care of. And because Virgos have an eye for detail and specificity, a lot of you end up taking care of a lot of things that are just unseen, untended, or maybe not cared for in the ways that they could be by the world around you. And to some extent, I'm going to say that this is part of your creative gift. When you see what could get refined, that is a little exciting for a Virgo. When there's an opportunity for you to tweak something in just the right way, that's exciting for a Virgo. And sometimes you just need to play. Sometimes you need to let it hang loose. And this Capricorn season, the first Capricorn season in 16 years that Pluto hasn't been here, I feel is an opportunity for you to reconnect with some of your more childlike, spontaneous, creative, expressive energy. And it is a great period of time for you to do that in ways that are also allowing you to rethink and rework a little bit how you work and how you labor. There is something that you need to remember about what makes you happy and what serves and builds your energy. And over the last month or 2 months, many of you, I think, have been in some kind of process of remembering and recovering important aspects of your being. This may have happened because there's a contrast, because you're really aware of where you're working too hard or what you don't want to do anymore. And that is leading you to some kind of reflection on what you love and what you want to reclaim. So as we move into Capricorn season, we are headed towards a new moon on December 30th. And this is a wonderful new moon for you to really focus on reconnecting with the part of yourself that I'm going to call is your inner child. This is the part of you that is naturally curious, that is naturally playful, that has a sense of innocence even, that isn't like jaded and encumbered by all of the stuff that comes up with adulthood. As we approach this new moon, there may also actually really need to be some kind of grieving process for you as well. Noticing what has been there, obscuring the calls of your inner child. Maybe time or energy lost. Maybe people lost, or experiences that have really shaped you in a kind of way and potentially aged you. And in that aging, maybe you forgot certain important things that your inner child still remembers. So this is a new moon that feels both deep and profound, as well as potentially creative and expressive and exploratory. It's a great period of time for you to work with artistic process or practice in some way and allow yourself to express what is living inside of you and what wants to come forward more fully. Now, as we move out of 2024 and into 2025, from the month of December into the month of January, there is a lot of energy shifting and sorting, and many of you are in a really big reorganization process that feels like it encompasses maybe multiple areas of your life. There are definitely changes that a lot of you are making in what I'm going to say are the areas of your home and family. You're feeling into ways that you either need to get freed up or more stable and supported, or maybe both. Many of you are in some kind of big restructuring in the landscapes of your relationships and important commitments. It is becoming clearer and clearer what you need, what you want to be giving, what kinds of boundaries are appropriate. There may be challenges in your relationships now that are also really needing you to change the way that you're living or what you're doing with your life. And this big question of what you're doing with your life is also in a big state of flux throughout Capricorn season, and definitely really resounding in a lot of ways, particularly as we move towards the new moon, but definitely throughout the season. There's a sense of you are growing, and maybe you have a notion of how you want to grow or what is calling you, but there's also a feeling of how are you going to do it? Where are the right avenues for you to pursue? What are the right relationships? What do you need in terms of your day-to-day life and your energy and your commitments and agreements that can help support you to do and be in your life and in the world in the ways that you know that you are changing how you are and what you're doing. And this sense of change is such a big signature of the year ahead. And as we move into 2025, You are entering a period of big transformation, and parts of who you used to be need to be let go. And there's a kind of recycling process that we might think about at this time, a regeneration process. And what is required for recycling and for regeneration is letting go. We have to be able to sort and filter through our lives and the landscapes of our relationships. We have to be able to look at what is working, what is not working. Where is your energy hung up on certain things? Where does it need to shift and adjust? And what can this make space for? So in the transition from 2024 into 2025, I think a lot of you are kind of being pulled into some kind of transformational process. And it might feel like you're very much in the depths and in the grips of what change requires, which is letting go. This is a period of time that isn't going to be easy in its totality. There will be moments of profound liberation and feeling like you're connected with a greater source of support. And there will also be moments where you feel like you're totally in the dark, navigating without clarity or direction, and maybe needing to confront some psychological buildup and potentially fears or anxieties and things like that. Now, what can help you so much during this time is community and support. And in Sagittarius season, in your horoscope, I talk to you a lot about the importance of relationships and friendships and building networks of solidarity and reciprocity. Now, as we move into the month of January, this feels like a stronger and stronger pull. Who are your people? Where are your people? How do you want to be connecting with them? What are the ways that you want to come together with others that help you in your day-to-day experience and existence take care of what your body needs and what the world needs and what your life needs? You also want to be working with others towards some kind of larger project. I don't know exactly what this looks like for you, but it feels to me like a lot of you are seeing something out there or feeling something in here about what you could build if you had the right relationships, the right agreements, the right kinds of support, the right kinds of foundation, etc. And this is going to be a major theme for you over the course of the next several months. So please don't feel like you need to figure it out by the end of Capricorn season. You have at least until the beginning of May for some of these preliminary considerations. I think a lot of you are working with many, many moving pieces. But I'm going to say that you actually have 20 years. You have 2 whole decades to be building out the kind of community and landscape and friendships and networks that you imagine could be possible for you and in your life. Now, not all of us will have another 20 years on planet Earth, and that doesn't have anything to do necessarily with how old we are. Right now, life is unpredictable, and so we also don't want to squander our time and resources by investing in what doesn't lead us to those end goals. So while I'm going to say don't be urgent, don't be hasty, don't feel like if you don't have it figured out now that it's never going to happen, give yourself a long arc of time to work in. I'm also going to say don't waste time. Now is the time to really be looking forward at the future. What do you want to be building? Who do you want to be building with? What kinds of agreements and boundaries and conversations and processes need to happen so that you can move in that direction? January really starts to bring these themes in strong. And the feeling here is alliance for survival. We need each other. Absolutely. We have always needed each other. And human beings have experimented with all kinds of ways of existing together, sometimes in harmony, a lot of times in dissonance and with violence. And right now, it is so important for us to be collaborating to build spaces where there is nourishment and safety and care for the people who are part of those spaces. When I say safety, it's with a nod to the uncontrollable forces of life. Life is precarious, but as much as we can create spaces where there can be honesty and actual conversations, where we can get into conflict in ways that are held with patience and process and skills, right? Skill building to have relationship and to have community requires us to do the work around communication, to work with our psychology, to figure out what to do in disagreement and friction. These are the kinds of communal spaces that I think a lot of you really are craving right now. And 2025 is asking you to start orienting your vision in those directions if you haven't already. I know a lot of you are already looking that way, and this is a period of time that is going to give back to you for your investments so far. It's going to give you lots of opportunities to deepen those investments and expand them and learn about them. The month of January really takes a turn after the first week. So we enter the new year with a lot of fire energy in the charts. There is a real sense of quickness of change. And then as we get into the second week of January, energetics start to pull more towards what feel like emotional currents. And a lot of people, I think, are really trying to navigate some big feelings. We're approaching a Cancer full moon on January 13th, and this is a full moon that is definitely resonating high on the scale of big feelings. Now, Virgo, you might be navigating landscapes where other people are having some big feelings, and definitely you might be having feelings yourself. What I feel is that your discernment around boundaries is really important at this time. And what this feels like to me is you need to know what's yours to work with and what's bigger than what you can handle alone. A lot of what's coming up for people right now in the emotional landscape is bigger than anyone can process alone. There are enormous things happening in the world, big, uncontrollable circumstances that individuals then have to navigate our way through. And again, we need each other. Alliance for survival. You are in a position at this period of time to really grow and evolve inside of your relationships. Many of you have a lot of practical capacities when it comes to caring for what people need and what you need on fundamental levels. Virgo as an energy understands really deeply the needs of the body, and the needs of the body need to be tended, especially when emotions run high. So if people are feeling a whole lot of stuff, sometimes we can support each other so practically by simply bringing a hand to someone's back, saying, hey, I'm here. Maybe providing a meal, maybe offering to do a chore or help with a task or think something through strategically. You might have the skills and capacities to do this for other people at this time, and you may also need that from your friends and from your community. Either way, Virgo, I really want to encourage you to communicate about it. If you have something to offer, reach out. If you need something, ask for it. Those pathways of communication will build foundations of trust. And the more that you show up for people and feel that other people are showing up for you, this strengthens your energetic capacity, your resolve, and your feelings that whatever might be happening at this time, if you have other people to be going through it with, that can really define the situation. That can shape so much of the outcome. Over the course of 2025, your relational landscape is the place where you want to be focusing, building deeper intimacy. Deeper intimacy requires deeper honesty. Deeper honesty is scary sometimes. It requires you to actually express yourself. And to actually express yourself, sometimes you have to give yourself space to hear what you need to express. And this brings me all the way back to the place where I started, where Capricorn lives in your chart, which is a place of authentic expression. And so as we finish out this season, I can't encourage you enough to be tuning in with your inner child, to be remembering that everybody else out there, no matter how old they are or what kind of maturity they might be presenting with, also has an inner child, if not like 50 of them living in their bodies. And that because we are all children on some level, we tend to respond in really basic, simple ways to the most basic and simple gestures of authenticity. So when we feel transparency, when we feel sincerity, and the willingness in someone else to express themselves honestly, that oftentimes gives us room and courage and willingness to do the same. So if you feel yourself being called to build relationships and community spaces and tend the path of your life that feels like a path of also caring for something that's bigger than you, I'm going to say that first and foremost, Virgo, please care for yourself. Care for what brings you joy. Care for the activities and the interests that bring light into your eyes and the corners of your mouth up. Care for what you know that you need in order to feel trusting and enlivened and engaged with other people. And by doing that, you will also be caring for your communities and caring for your friendships. Virgo, thank you. Thanks for being you. I am wishing you all the best in Capricorn season and beyond. Bye for now. Thanks so much for listening to your Capricorn season reading. If this horoscope resonated for you, please show your support by liking, following, and subscribing, and by sharing this work with your friends and community. And if you want more, don't forget to order your 2025 year ahead reading, where I go in depth with the big picture and main themes of this year for your sun, moon, and rising signs. This season, I hope you'll join me for Somatic Space, which is a class I offer every Monday where we prepare ourselves to work with the astrology of the week ahead through gentle healing body practices, breathwork, meditation, and visualization. You can drop in once to try it out, or if you become a member, you'll also get access to the past classes video archive, as well as Tea Time, which is a monthly meetup and conversation space where we learn and share how astrology is moving through our lives. You can find more information about working with me and other Embodied Astrology events in the show notes or through the study section at embodiedastrology.com. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for listening and engaging. I truly hope to see you in an Embodied Astrology space soon. Bye for now.